I want to share something important with everyone today, that when you do your inner healing work and you become aware of the wounds that you are carrying from your childhood or your past, they can be just wounds from like this day, that you look within and you start to see what they are triggering, and you start to go into the source of it, and understanding that it is basically coming from a place where love has been missing in you, and hence that has shown up in so many different ways, like fear of judgment, and fear of just rejection, fear of abandonment, all of those fears, and all the places where we start wearing masks, like we start trying to pretend to be like someone else to fit in. We don't feel good enough about ourselves, so we feel like changing our outer appearance, not just physically, but our way of talking, mentally, and everything else. There can be a lot of shame there, about lots of things, about just how we are. There can be rejection in those places. Um, and when you start to do this, you start to realize how some people have triggered it for you. Like you could be, for instance, healing something that came to you from a past relationship. Maybe that was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, it doesn't matter. And you start looking at it, okay, this person said this to me or behaved like this with me, or I felt like this with this person because they tried to control me. I'm just using hypothetical examples here. And when you go deeper and deeper into that, you start to see there was this self within which just needed love, which just needed, to feel safe, which just needed to feel acknowledged. And you start to love yourself, in this way, in the way it is required. So, simply speaking, you realize that how sometimes people are behaving unconsciously with you, and that has caused so much, hurt and pain. And yes, their unconscious behavior is all the karmic play, of give and take and the karma of the past. And it is predetermined, yes. And of course they are also triggering wounds which are within you, so that is also why they act in a certain way. But going forward for you personally, because you are doing so much work on yourself and you are awakening and you are going through a spiritual awakening, of the twin flame journey, whatever way this awakening is happening, whether it's happening through twin flames, it's happening through a false twin flame experience, or it's happening through having, just, been like done with life and looking at what is the truth of my existence. I mean, just like, why am I even here? Some people have an awakening just because they have maxed out all desires and then they know what is next for me, right? Or suffering can cause a lot of awakening sometimes. Even in this journey, basically, the awakening is only because of suffering of separation, right? So essentially, when you are awakening and you are going through this entire process, I would like to, urge you to look at how, because you got so wounded by the behavior of other beings, and if many of you have also witnessed places where within you where you hurt someone and you have guilt around that, right? And when you heal that, you start to understand how your unconscious actions and your expectations from someone could have caused them so much pain. Your insensitivity to somebody could have also been really, hurtful to them, and could have contributed to trauma and damage for them, just the way somebody else's insensitivity and selfishness towards you caused you trauma and damage and pain. So going forward, try to just be very conscious of how you are with other people. This is not with the intent of trying to create good karma or bad karma or something. This is not the way one should be. You don't have to be calculative about your karma because it is beyond your calculation. Karma is something you're accumulating from lifetimes. Even to just move your hand a little bit is karma. Think any thought, it is karma. In one day, it is said that you create a karma for several lifetimes or something like that. So it is not about accumulating good karma and, releasing bad karma. Like, being calculative about karma is very, very wrong, and it is not how it works. It is bad karma to calculate, basically. Okay. You should not worry about the outcome of any good action that you're taking. Like, the intention is very important. If I am going to go and help, people because I want to accumulate good karma or something, it may not work like that. All right, but if with my very good intention, I'm still somebody who has very good intentions, but I don't necessarily go and take that action, that is still, more preferable to taking an action with an intention of gaining something, you know or a bad intention. So basically, there is a whole, level of depth to karma. It's not the way in which the society is generally just saying this is karma, and it's not realized and understood. In India, it used to be understood in so much depth because the Gita is something which explains karma so beautifully and wonderfully. And one thing, which everybody is taught is that you must do the action and not worry about the outcome, not worry about what will you gain from that action. So many of you from India would understand this, right? So, karam karo, fal ki chinta na karo, as it is called in Hindi from the Gita. But anyway, if you want to know more about karma, you can definitely read Sadhguru's book on karma, which is an incredible book and will clarify so much to you about it. You can order it on Amazon or just maybe from, the Isha website. So, um, that is something, if you feel curious about karma, that will clarify a lot of questions for you. But taking this forward a little bit, I just want to say that now that we understand, when we do our healing, we understand that our insensitivity can cause pain the way somebody else's insensitivity has caused us pain. Can we try to be more sensitive, not because we want to accumulate good karma, but because just out of love? I mean, think about it, because you don't want to add to that person's damage towards whom you're being insensitive. It can be anybody. Sometimes on the twin flame journey, we think only our twin flame is important and everybody else can go to hell. That is a very wrong approach, especially, if you have family, whether in any way or form, your parents, your if you are married, then that your children and all of that, that should also be, as important to you as your twin flame, if not more, because these are people that are present around you. These are people that love you, that through whom, you experience good things in life. You experience safety, comfort, you experience a structure. So it is very important that, you include everyone around you as a part of you. This is also a part of your divine essence. This is a part of, the love that you are already. And this is a part of, including other beings is a part of, your expanding heart chakra, actually. So it is very important that you don't discriminate and you don't think that my twin flame is the only one I will love and everyone else I don't care about. Will not be something that is making you a healed divine feminine, and it is not going to even, enable union or anything like that. But that aside, just that aside, not worrying about what the outcome of this action is going to be. So now you're going to be nice to people because that leads to union, will not lead to union, because like we just said, don't have to think about the outcome of your action. Okay. But the point that I'm just trying to make is that it is important that just out of your experience, that when you did your inner healing and you understood how you got hurt, can you try now not to hurt anyone else? And if you even, look at some of the good experiences you had because somebody showed you magnanimity, somebody smiled at you, somebody was generous with you, somebody was kind to you, and how that uplifted your spirits, just because of that, why not also be that person who can do this for other people without any intention of receiving anything, from the universe or from that person, just by your way of being, knowing that a positive, thing that you do can create such a positive ripple effect, just like a negative thing can create a negative ripple effect. So, similarly, a positive thing can create a very beautiful positive ripple effect. And especially to just be sensitive to everybody's feelings, even feelings of the people that have hurt you, even feelings of the people that have not been the best towards you. I know that, you don't have to immediately think, I'm going to go from zero to saint in a day. It's not like that. When you have processed this hurt that you received from somebody, and you understood that they were just, a perpetrator in the whole game of the karmic play, that the wound that even, to some extent you received from your parents, even that wound was coming from a past life, right? That is a fact. Nothing is without, cause. Just because we don't remember causes doesn't mean that now we have to shout at the effects that we see, and we start thinking this is unjust and this is wrong and this is unfair. That is how the ego, loves to play, and the ego causes a lot of self victimization. But this is a journey, I know this can be very triggering for many people, because this is very hard talk, but it is very important that you understand that you are responsible for your life. And if you still want other people to, be responsible for you, then, progress will be very slow on this journey. And even in general in your life, it is important that you understand that I am responsible for my emotions. If I feel bad today, I am responsible for it. And if I feel good today, I am responsible for it. It is a choice that I'm making, right? And it's okay if I'm making that choice. I am responsible for making that choice. And similarly, when I was a child, if I went through some terrible things, my soul made that choice, to understand certain things, the other aspect of life. This is all karma. The soul would have been, in another role in another life which is forgotten, where the soul could have been the one giving and causing hurt to someone else. And now it is choosing to experience the other side of it, how it feels to get hurt, right? And no human being is perfect. Every human being is a gray, human being. They are not black and white. No human being is all bad, no human being is all good. So it is important you drop that duality and that dual way of thinking, of placing people as good or bad, which is very present in today's thinking, especially in the Western world, and increasingly so in the Eastern cultures also. This is spreading, this whole idea of this is good and this is bad. That has to go away. And everyone has to just looking within. Would you want to be judged as good or bad? Because maybe you were not, behaving in a nice way somewhere. Would you want people to conclude that you're a bad person? No. It could have been that you were going through something, but you don't want others to think you're a bad person just because, you were sad or angry or not talking to people or something like that. In a limited amount of time, you don't want to be judged for a limited amount of time. So this exactly is, the kind of love that you have to show to everyone else, the love that you show to yourself automatically expands then to, include other people, and let it include other people. And just understanding that going forward, I will not be insensitive, as sensitive as I can be, not just to human beings, to even animals, to plants, to ants, just the way I am. I will not be insensitive to anybody. I will look at, people's eyes and acknowledge, what they're going through, what they're feeling, because I'm ascending on my path. I'm awakening spiritually. What does that mean? That means I have more sensitivity. My perception is higher than other people's perceptions. If I go and I sit in a room, I can gauge more than what a normal person can gauge, because I am awakening. I'm separate from the 3D matrix. Every day I'm becoming more and more separate from the 3D matrix. And hence I'm coming, into a state of detachment. When I'm in a state of detachment, I can just witness and I can just observe. And that gives me so much insight. And that insight will only lead me towards being sensitive to other people. And along with this, the inner work that I do when I look within at my own wounding and I see how certain situations and people caused me pain, now I know that going forward, I will not cause that pain to anybody. Because I know how much a little pain, a little, meanness can just hurt somebody. Because in my life, I have been hurt by tiny instances as well. So let me at least start a chain reaction of being kind. This is not moralistic. This is not, moral science that be kind and be generous. No. It's just, if you feel that love for yourself, include that, let that love expand to include everyone around you. I know this is difficult. I know it takes time, but this is just something you can always aspire towards. You can always think that this is the ideal for me. That if I feel love for myself and I'm working towards that self-love, towards accepting myself more and loving myself more and giving myself more, encouragement that I need from time to time, then let this also now reflect on the outside. As a human being now, automatically let me allow this love to include other people and other beings as well. This is all I wanted to speak about. And if you feel guided to book a one on one session with me, my email address is imacompletelife@gmail.com. And I would also like to add that with your twin flame connection, if you are rejecting other people and you are only and only obsessed with your twin flame, you know how that goes. You have to be present in your life right now. You have to be available for everything and everyone around you, as you desire, of course, with your boundaries. And of course, you have to take time out for yourself. But I'm just saying that being alert to people around you is important. Being alert to your own self is important. So draw the focus back to your life right now. This is what, brings your twin flame also back to this connection, because you are now not focused on them, but you're focused on you and the life that you're living. And that is important. If you only have love for your twin flame and you have hate for everyone else, then this is a place where more work needs to happen within you. You have to have love in your heart for everything. Love is your basic nature, okay? And automatically that draws your counterpart in. I know this is triggering to ego. This is triggering to those of us who are very much in our egos. It is perfectly fine. It would have been triggering for me as well. And I understand it completely. But this is, just a message I felt like sharing. So, guys, you also know that there is a workshop which is happening on the 24th of September at 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. This workshop will be guided by an expert, and it will facilitate, your inner union through a guided meditation-based exercise. And I'm sure that it will be very useful. I'm very certain it will have very profound, impact for you within and also without. And if you feel, guided to book this workshop, you can write to me. My email address is imacompletelife@gmail.com. So it costs only 3,500 rupees, and if you're paying in various other currencies, then if you're paying through Wise, it is 44 euros and 48 US dollars. And for other currencies, you can just write to me and I'll tell you about what the conversion system is. It is open to both men and women, so do sign up for it. If you want to experience inner union and you want to see, basically release, those blocks to union within you. It can be a very profound experience. And when you sign up for this, you will also receive a guided meditation track. And that is a track that I am creating, which will basically help you to balance both your energies. When you maybe can use the track once in a week or once in 2 weeks, as you feel ready to do it, it will bring immense balance within you and help you connect, with your higher feminine and higher masculine energies. So it's a great opportunity and it's very affordable. Do sign up for it. It is this Sunday, which is coming in on the 24th. And the timing is very suitable. It's going to be your afternoon if you're in the UK and Europe, and it's going to be your morning if you are going to be in the United States. So that's all, guys. Take care. Sending you lots of love. Bye.